Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. Assalamu alaikum. It is exactly 12 after 9 o'clock, and we cross over to the Western Cape to Panorama. Now, a family living in Panorama have criticized the rules of the 2023 Commonwealth Judo Championships after their daughter was not allowed to receive her medal on the podium because she was wearing a headscarf, a hijab. The South African judo champion, she's 16 years old, was denied podium presentation for refusal to remove her headscarf. Let's talk to her mother. She is, of course, Rashida Fredericks, the parent to SA Judo champ Naqeebah Fredericks. Assalamu alaikum and welcome to the program, dear Sister Rashida. Nice to be talking with you this morning, but under sad circumstances, I might add.
Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Thank you for all the listeners that are joining in as well. Yes, I wish it was different circumstances, but unfortunately, this is what it is.
What was the incident that transpired, Rashida?
So my daughter, she actually won bronze at the Commonwealth Judo Championship, and she was just about to podium. She was on the stage about to podium when they asked her to remove her headscarf to accept the medal on the podium.
Is this the first time something of this nature has come about while Naqeebah competes?
It's the first time it comes about while she podiums.
Okay. Gosh, it must have been devastating for her that she was actually stopped just before getting to the podium to receive her medal, or rather told that she can't go onto the podium unless she removes her headscarf. What is Naqeebah's feelings around the incident?
Um, well, kids, her heart was obviously burning to step on the podium as it is something that she worked hard for and actually achieved that day. So she was actually very teary-eyed for being asked to remove her headscarf at that moment.
Were you and your husband present at the time, and how did you feel when you saw this playing out?
We were actually in the stand, and I did advise her. I actually was suspicious them asking her to remove her headscarf, and she obviously has never done that before, especially on this type of platform. So she was actually, I think, a bit confused about the whole situation because she's always podium with a headscarf on.
Now, according to a report, you were made aware of the rules of the IJF, stating that your daughter would not be allowed to wear a hijab whilst collecting her medal. Is this true? And if it is true, if they have told you, if they had forewarned you, why is there this discontent?
Okay, so we were not made aware of that. And the IGF rules, as they are stating now, was not applied in all the laws of rule in the championship. Um, in the championship. Sorry, my husband's just wanting to, because he's more on the technical side of things.
Please
If he
bring
could
him
just
in. Please
join
bring him
to
in. Let me talk to
explain
him.
that, because he
Of
actually just
course.
went through all the rules of every
Of
type of law
course.
that there is concerning that. So if I
And
can
that is
just get him.
Luqman. Is it
Yes,
Luqman?
Luqman.
Salaam
Yes.
alaikum to you, Luqman. Welcome to the program. Luqman, are you there? Okay, we seem to have lost them. Luqman was about to join us to explain the rules and regulations around the IJF and the reason why
Hello.
their daughter, oh, there he is. The
Assalamu
reason
alaikum.
why Walaikum salam, walaikum salam. Welcome. You have some explanations for us.
Mm. Yeah, look, we like my wife said, we weren't told beforehand that she couldn't go onto the podium with a headscarf, right? So it yeah, it was very emotional. She was quite sad herself. Then I questioned the sports director, was a British lady called Simone Calendar, I think. I, I continuously asked her if it was an IGF event, and she wouldn't answer me. And then I asked about the judoki. The judoki is the suit that they wear, right?
Mm,
I asked her were they allowed to, or does all the athletes have approved IGF judokis on, which I knew it wasn't because we know about that, right? So that's the only thing I had in that I could argue against, because I never actually went to check the rules, right? Because we've been doing it not too long, but we've competed at the SA Open twice, where Naqeebah podium, she came second. Well, she received a medal with the headscarf on. Last year, my other daughter received her medal with the headscarf on. And in all the podiums, whether it be for the Western Cape versus the Eastern Cape, there was no issues with headscarves on the podium per se. So so I was trying to get a answer from the lady because they're massaging certain rules here. And one thing we also found out they did not allow um, chokes or arm breaks, which is also not a rule of the IGF. And they also joined weight categories, which is actually their rules. So we were not told beforehand, right? So the article says yes, we were told. Yes, we were told, but after the fact. That
mm.
doesn't state when we were told, right? That's the one thing. And then obviously I went to go dig up now. I went to go read all the IGF rules. Um, I'm still waiting for the answer. If someone can tell me if it was an official IGF event, they can't tell me, right? I asked that at the tournament. Um, so I went to check if it's not the official IGF, and they can obviously massage the rules as they want to. Um, and there was a lot of other infringements on IGF rules that was happening at the tournament. So I don't want to. I can go into detail where it happened, but I see they were focusing more on the headscarf. So what I did was I looked at the IGF rules on page 60. I think it's 64, 8.10. It speaks about the medal ceremony. This is now the IGF rule. I'm gonna. It says the athletes must come to the podium with a white judoki. But then it also explicitly says that the athlete cannot wear a headscarf. That is the IGF rules. That is the rule that the lady threw in front of me when I went to argue with her, right? But I realized now they weren't actually using the IGF rules throughout. So I went to actually look at the Commonwealth Judo Championship pack where their rules are in. Now, in their pack, I think it's 2.5.4 where they speak about the medal ceremony. So in their pack, it says the athlete can collect a medal with a white judoki. So they don't explicitly also say, like the IGF, they don't explicitly say you cannot have a headscarf. So in actual fact, Naqeebah was obeying their rules because she did come with a white judoki. And they
The
don't
only
explicitly
difference,
say, yeah, they don't
okay.
explicitly, now the IGF explicitly says, but they don't say. And they didn't refer to the IGF rule in their pack. There's certain areas in their pack where they do refer to IGF rules, but for the medal ceremony, they actually never refer to the IGF rules. So in actual fact, they broke their own rules.
Okay, so how are you moving forward with this matter? Because you can't just leave it there.
No, we not
Your daughter,
we need to move forward because I found something else as well. So when we spoke to the lawyers, they said, they will obviously hide behind international law. But I went to go look at the British Judo Federation laws. They actually allow headscarves. Not even on the podium, they allow you to fight with the headscarf. And this is a problem we had right at the beginning. When my daughters were fighting with the headscarf, it wasn't a problem at the beginning. Then when they started to progress, then it became a problem. And it was actually only a problem in the Western Cape. Not in Western Cape, in Cape Town district. The district that we were fighting under, it was a problem with people there.
Why
Right?
do you
Then they
suppose? Why do you suppose this has happened? What's your thinking around it?
look, I can only go on what I see and assumptions. There's certain people, like I said, I think there's one specific or maybe two people that I can see. Maybe there's more that there's a problem with it.
Has
Because
a
when we
problem with us as Muslims and
I'm not
making.
sure. I can't
Mhm.
say for sure. I don't know if it's a Muslim or if it's a scarf. And if it's a scarf, then it's obviously a problem with the Muslims. Or if it's they moving too quick, I'm not sure. But I suspect it's the scarf or Muslims. All right. So what I can tell you for sure, we never had a problem when we used to fight in the Cape Winelands. Those people, they said you could fight with a scarf. They have no issues with us. But in Cape Town, there's a problem there with someone in Cape Town. And that what used to happen, right? We used to fight in Cape Town originally with a scarf on, then they came with this whole IJF rules. Then we went to do some investigation, but we told them, look at Canada's constitution, look at the UK's constitution. They then allow a scarf or they allow a cap now. They stop with a scarf, but they allow a cap. You can cover your hair. No, they use. So asking where's their constitution, but they say no. We must look at the IGF rules. So they don't actually have their own constitution. So the IJF rules is sitting outside of South Africa. It's an international body. So they want to enforce their rules on South Africans, even if it goes against the country's constitution. So,
Okay, Luqman, so how are you moving forward in on this matter? Because I'm sure this has broken your daughter's
it's
spirit. It
broken our
can't be
daughter.
easy. It
Yeah,
can't be easy at all. She's only 16 years old, very impressionable, and she won't have the motivation to do her best, obviously.
yeah, yeah. No, it's disappointing. And just for the record, Judo South Africa hasn't contacted me or the district in any way, not via email or attempt of contacting us. So I've been looking at the human rights part. I think you got to download a document that you got to fill in. I'm going to try and get a lawyer on board to see what we can do. Because if you look at the British Judo Association, they in fact have a policy where you can't stop someone from wearing the cap. Okay, they don't allow the full hijab around the neck because it's unsafe, right?
Yes, yes.
They've got a policy there. If you don't allow it, there's actually indirect discrimination, and they even have a fine there. So I don't know where these people are getting their rules from
Absolutely.
because
It sounds like outright discrimination. She wasn't fighting at the time. She was just going to the podium to receive her
exactly,
award. So it wasn't that she was putting herself at risk with a scarf around
yes,
her head and her neck.
yeah.
Let me understand from your point of view, why is it important that Muslim women in sports are able to celebrate their wins within their own identity? Explain to me.
Because look, it's who she is. So it's discrimination if they don't allow her to wear scarf. That means they're not allowing her to compete in the sport. So they're only allowing a certain, would I say, class of women to compete in the sport, right? So they're excluding Muslim women from competing in the sport. So that in that way, it's discrimination. It's important for her. It's who she is.
You indicated that
So
you are going.
she already takes the scarf off because it's regarded as dangerous to fight. But now on the podium, you're not fighting. And if you look at all the quotes, even from the IJF in 2012, the Olympics, I think it was in the UK, where the Saudi lady came to fight, they say it's dangerous. That's why she can't. That's the reasoning. She can't wear a headgear when she fights. Okay, so we can't argue that. But what about the podium? Why
Okay.
is she denied the podium?
All right. Just to let you know that we contacted Judo South Africa for right of reply. and International Judo Federation, IJF, Sport and Organization. We made a request via email. Also, a call has been made to Judo South Africa President Themba Hlasho. No answer at all via email
Yeah, that
or phone.
he just they don't even come. They never even came. I just spoke to that one lady. There was
Okay,
one
so
guy that
they
tried.
haven't given us, we've given them the opportunity of right to reply, but they haven't acknowledged our attempts from our side. In closing, then, Luqman, please tell me, I know you've indicated you're going to get legal advice. What else are you going to do?
Sorry. Yeah, look, my wife said they're gonna continue fighting. Um, I have to speak to my daughters. I did tell them maybe we must look at alternative. I mean, originally the reason why we did judo was to give them some self-defense abilities, and karate. You know, you're striking someone, so I think this one was a better option. And the reason why we competed as well, I told them, look, you can train and have the techniques, but when you're faced with the situation where you have to actually use it, you have to have some sort of experience. So competing will give you that experience, so you don't freeze if you in a situation where you need to use your skills. So yeah, so we're looking for legal advice. There is another interview on Wednesday morning with Cape Talk. They said Judo South Africa might be there, and there'll be some other sports bodies there as well. They said they want to discuss how to maybe perhaps allow the headscarf. So this is Cape Talk that contacted me, not JSA. So it's not, they're not actually making any effort to do anything
Oh,
about it. I've spoken to some other guys. They said, "Ah, we're just gonna pinch JSA. This it will probably just blow over."
okay, we leave it at that. Thank you indeed for, uh, talking with us this morning, and we hope and pray, inshallah, for a positive outcome. We will try and make contact again to hear if there has been any developments. We'll do that in a couple of weeks' time. So you go well. Just know that all of South Africa is behind you and your family. You take care, and salamu alaikum to you.
Shukran. Alaikum salam.
It's exactly 9:30. News and views on Salam Media. Standing by to talk with us is Tahira Saluji, the marketing coordinator of Ashraful Aid.